This framework is a strategy I use to flip the script on the design process. I see so many people create the dream design for their pop-up activation straight off the bat, and then go through a process of breaking people's hearts bit by bit, as all of the nice-to-haves are stripped away from their concept to get the design to fit back within the budget. Don't get me wrong, I love to think big, and I want our projects to have a massive impact. And we can still make this happen. I just like to start this process at the start line instead of the finish line. So let's say you've got a budget of $60,000. For this example, I'm going to say the concept for this build currently costs $100,000. We've just created $40,000 problem. Not an ideal spot anyone wants to find themselves in. So from here, we've got a couple of options. Option number one, the creatives and designers can be re-engaged. I mean, they have to jump on the hamster wheel of endless revisions, more drawings, more renders, more meetings, more approvals, and more quotes. Or option two, they can go back to their team or client and ask for a bigger budget. Both of these options are a lose-lose situation. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Terry, we like to create the dream and see how close we can get to it. Isn't this going to ruin creativity and limit our options? Well, this is where we change the game. Instead of working backwards, I like to start at the beginning and develop a design that I know is going to fit the budget and timeline. Now, this may not be the dream design just yet, but we have two very different options. In this scenario, we no longer have a $40,000 problem. So let's chat through what our options are now. So option one, we now have an opportunity to look at the design and work out what we want to swap in and swap out instead of take away. From here, the conversation becomes, do we want to go with this or this? Instead of, you can't have this, this, and this, so it's all got to go. We're now in the position to make laser-focused design decisions. Instead of shooting in the dark, trying to change everything and hope that fits within the budget. This is a huge game changer when it comes to saving time and money on resources that would have to run around in circles to try and figure all this out again. So now let's look at option two. The design still needs to pop in a couple more areas, so there's still a budget conversation to be had. Now we're in a position to know exactly what these areas are and can work out what it's going to cost to upgrade them. So let's say there's 3 areas that need to be upgraded and each upgrade costs $5,000. We've now got $15,000 worth of option versus the $40,000 problem we had before. It's much easier to go back to your stakeholders and say, hey, this is what we can get for the budget, but if we want to take it to the next level, these are the things we can do to get it there. Do we want to increase the budget to include any of these? The last place anyone wants to find themselves is when they have to say, you know that big, beautiful, shiny thing I showed you last week that you absolutely fell in love with? Well, I'm really sorry, you can't afford it unless you can find another $40,000. Being in a position to have a much more productive conversation creates a better experience for everyone and helps nurture great working relationships. Coming up with solutions and being able to say, hey, here are all the things we can do to enhance the design, sets you up to make really good, fast, effective decisions. I hope something I said today could help you think about things from another angle. I've mapped this framework out into a document called How to Build Your Design from the Ground Up. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out and potentially implement it into your next project. In the meantime, keep the awesome ideas coming, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.